Hello everybody, how is your Friday going? I'm going to try and knock the table. Wow, isn't today an amazing day? It's Frinally Friday. It's a bit of art, it's a bit of wedding planning, it's a bit of everything, because Friday's about, let me just scan in a little bit, see if I can, oh, there I am. Hello, I'm back again. Anyway, I thought I'd jump on here and say, hey, we're going to, my head's cut off a bit, we're going to create an adventure wedding today. And the problem with COVID is we've got to shrink our weddings. The number of people we're allowed at our weddings has to shrink. Whoops, there I am. It has to shrink and we have no choice. That's okay. Doesn't mean we cannot have some fun and some excitement. Let me introduce myself. I'm Beryl from Forever Yours Flowers. I'm a wedding artist. I'm a wedding planner and I do wedding art in relationship to artificial flowers, and I help brides overcome their fears. Well, couples. I don't pick on just the brides. I pick on the grooms too. I help you overcome the fears you may have in creating your own wedding. COVID is a bit of a pain. It's the elephant in the room that's creating, I should stop screwing my nose up, shouldn't I? That is creating a thought and feeling in your head, up in here, and well, I'm going to remove those limiting beliefs and we're going to create something beautiful. Today, I've made up the fantasy couple called George and Martha. Guess what? George and Martha Washington. Well, maybe this is what George and Martha Washington would have done if they were allowed to have the wedding that they wanted to have, and they were here now. So, I'm going to go through, I've got a bit of a list here of different things when it comes to how to plan an adventure wedding, but I'm here and I'm going to talk about, and I'm hoping this doesn't end up backwards. It does too. That's no good. So what we're going to do so that we can work this all out is I am going to do a bit of a flip and look what we've created. It's the George and Martha Adventure Wedding. And what we've got here is, whoops, haven't coloured that, park here. Have you thought of an adventure wedding? Have you thought of, let me get it back in the little cradle again so it stops shaking and jumping around and I create all sorts of nightmares. Have you thought of creating that, having a smaller number of people? I'm just going to go turn that overhead light off. I look like I've got a halo. That's a bit better, isn't it? I don't have a halo anymore. So, having a bit of trouble with my shadings today. At least I'm a little bit darkened now. I'm in the studio. I've been making a lot of face masks this week. See? Exactly. There's numerous people that have asked the person that's got a degree in textile art and pattern making and design to make some amazing masks. And that was not a mask, that was a bandana, but that's okay. But if we follow, have you thought of, and I'll take a photo of this and put it up, I created this design where a lot of couples are wanting that intimate micro-amazing wedding. And I've decided to specialise in my micro-amazing weddings at the moment. And the reason for this is because of COVID. But we want to have fun. We want our wedding to be a party. So there's 5 things to think of when you're trying to create an adventure wedding. For starters, you'd want to keep the group small. Oh, guess what? That fits in with COVID, because if you've got an adventure wedding and say it's in the snow season and you want to have a ski adventure wedding, well, I'm telling you now, Grandmama probably can't do it. This is where I will use the word can't instead of cannot. Grandma probably will fall down, but then again, she may be an Olympic skier, so I'm not crossing her off. There are some pretty groovy, smart grandmamas out there that they'll jump out of aeroplanes and I won't. So pick a season. What season would you like? We could have snow and skiing. We could have summer and the beach. We could have autumn and waterfalls. Or we could have spring and spring flowers. But we create ourselves, and that's what this was. This was an adventure map. And I just thought, wow, why don't we create an adventure map? And I'm going to go through that at the end of my little 5 so I can take it off the little sign and show you all the little things that were going through my head as I was creating these. This is how I plan weddings. This is how I plan a normal wedding, with lots of paper, lots of sketches, lots of all sorts of things, so that we can get the designs out of my head into your head, and out of your head into my head, and then out of my head into your head. So it ends up your day, because it's got nothing to do with me. So, number 2 on it is picking a location. The location, when you're doing an adventure wedding, it's not just about the location, it's about the journey to get there, which is why I'm going to show you my map again. But it's not going to be reversed when I show it to you. So I've got to stop picking the map up because the refocus on the camera doesn't like it. But now people are saying, but if we were to do an adventure wedding, isn't that an elopement? No, it's not an elopement. Elopement's not taking your friends with you. It's just going off, getting married. The disadvantage, this is where I think a little intimate micro wedding's better, because you can still have your personalised, your dearest and closest people with you. It may not be the same number as the 500 people wedding, but just imagine how intimate and special it would be. But, and also the other thing is, if you suddenly decide today, I'm going to go, by the way, if you live in Victoria, you're not allowed to leave your house, so you can't do this, but you're going to go and get married. You've got to go and find a celebrant. That's not that easy to do if, say, you went to Spain and you decided you wanted to get married in Spain, considering we're not allowed to leave Australia. Excuse me. So, just think of that intimate micromazing wedding. Now, when you're doing something like an adventure wedding, do us a favour, pick a team. You've got logistics. When I show you my map again, I'll show you how you've got to pick a team so that they can help you set it all up. In this case, I'm making an adventure map wedding. This is what was going through my head at 3:30 this afternoon as I was going to say, what sort of adventure wedding could I design for you? And I decided, I'm going to take you on a map. You're going to start with a map, and you will follow that map along and make decisions and play games all the way until you get to the wedding service. That may be, in this case, I've got it on a beach overlooking water because I love water. You'll need a photographer. You've got to have an adventurous photographer that wants to go and do some crazy things with you. Don't go and get the normal photographer that goes, no, sorry, don't leave the city. That's not going to work for an adventure wedding. So you've got to think of these things in this adventure wedding. The caterer. Maybe you want to eat the food straight after the wedding. Maybe you don't. Maybe you want a barbecue. But just remember, you may have to allow the caterer a way to get in so that you can have a party. I had a wedding last year in December that they hired a boat. This was their adventure wedding. They hired a boat. Boy, this camera is jumping off and on with lights. They hired a boat, and then they took everybody. I think they only had 20 or 30 people. This was before we had limiting numbers on our wedding. And so they had their reception on the boat. all the food was supplied by them. But they went and got married on the beach in Wilson's Promontory. I was honoured to be allowed to do her flowers. That was beautiful to me. And I did the teepee flowers and things like that. So she did something very, very different. Also, if you want Grandmama to be there, you may have to organise somebody to carry her. That's another set of logistics for when all the things. But when you work with me, you come into our group, when you come into the wedding planning group, please join my intimate Micromazing wedding planning group. It's only new. It only started on Monday. I decided I want to create a group that is going to support you on this journey for your small intimate wedding. And it is going to be micro amazing. That's it. And guess what? Number 5 on the list. So I've been through pick a season, pick a location, elopement or wedding, pick a team, and the difference between elopement or wedding. And guess what? For number 5 is pack your bags. Let's go. We're going to have some fun. It's an adventure. You might need to take your runners, and you might want people to take boat rides and cross rivers and streams and all to get to the wedding. Maybe you don't wear your wedding dress when you're first doing this, and you have a sexy little pair of running shorts, and you've got your veil on, and maybe you have somewhere at the end where you can quickly throw on your dress if you still want that formal look, or maybe you're quite happy to be in hiking boots and a t-shirt. It's your wedding. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what amazing adventure weddings are about. They're about being outside the box. So now I apologize for the shutter. I'm about to take my camera out of the little box, and I'm going to show you some of the ideas I had when I was trying to choose an amazing wedding, an adventure wedding, I should say, that I thought I would like to do, because I'm a quite outdoor person. I love taekwondo, I love running, I love walking my dogs, I love water, I love swimming, I love boat riding, I love sailing. As you can tell, I'm quite an outdoor person. By the way, we can create you an adventure wedding inside. That is possible. We've just got to think a little bit. This is where our mind, our thoughts and feelings don't create, and if you think it's going to create a limitation, no, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you overcome these limitations and just jump to the next level. Because we can create, it doesn't matter where your wedding is. We can do it out in the backyard if that's what's allowed after this latest lockdown in Victoria. We can do that. I can do it all virtually, so you don't have to include me as one of your numbers. That's fine. I so miss being on weddings, but okay. So now hang on a minute. I'm just going to grab my little camera. Whoops. I'm trying to be very gentle. I'm trying to turn the page. Now, first off, the adventure begins. Then we follow the map around, and we go round and stop. We must answer a question to proceed. And we go round and we go round. And guess what? Time to play. You have arrived early. So why don't you play a game of chess? You could put a game, some sort of game there. Maybe it's building blocks. This is where your logistics people will come in, because you will get them to set it up. So if you're a little bit early, you get to play chess before the wedding. Maybe you might have to wait until afterwards. And if you're running a bit late, don't forget to put those running shoes on, and just remember to go the right direction, because oops, if you follow my arrows, you've gone the wrong way, which means you'll be back right at the beginning. So let's play shortcuts, and then we will. Sorry, my phone's going flat. We've got another game. This one I've put hopscotch, because I thought that would be quite easy. You could take some mats, and then we go up, and we can't go any further, so we've got to come down. And then we've got a choice. Which way will we go? Will we go down the simple way and into the wedding, Or will we decide that we're going to catch the boat across the water and maybe we've got to swim? Did you bring your bathers? As you can tell, an adventure wedding can be anything you want it to be. It can be simple or it can be complicated. But I can assure you, it's going to be so much fun. Are you ready to have fun with me? Please say yes. I want you to come on this journey with me. And today we're going to start planning your adventure wedding or your intimate micromazing wedding that we're going to have, because weddings are going to happen again. I can promise you. Anyway, this is Beryl from Forever Yours Flowers. I've had a bit of fun for my Frinally Friday, and I would love you to DM me today. Please say yes and talk to me, and let's start organising your wedding today. Anyway, this is me signing off. Love to you all. Oh, I forgot to say, oops, I made a boo-boo. Join my intimate Micromazing Wedding group over on Facebook, and we can start this little group that we've got. There's only 2 of us in there at the moment, but by Christmas time, I want us to be hundreds so that we're all supporting each other for next year. Anyway, bye for now. Bye.